starting from the top, your first sip is going to be a bit like creamy and citrusy. But then moving down, if you take a big gulp, you're going to get like bubbled savory notes in there as well. A bit of saltiness, a bit of sweetness. It's multi-layered. Hello guys, I'm Naz from Sago House. I'm actually in Sago House right now, as you can see. I mean, I can't actually turn the cameras around, but yeah, this I'm actually standing in the bar of Sago House. So whenever you come in, this is where you're gonna see me mostly. If not, I'm in any other bar drinking. Yes, what an honor. We got to find out about it like I think just like a few weeks ago. So it's been hard trying to keep it to ourselves. A lot of validation for the staffs. We've been working hard. We've been just giving our best to customers and all. It's amazing. Helps us to cultivate that culture of being real, and that's why we have this thing called Don't Try. It's kind of a philosophy where we don't try to be more than ourselves. We just try to be ourselves. People, they can still get an experience they don't get anywhere else, or but at the same time they still feel like home. It's kind of heartwarming because like all these guests, they actually started from being just regular guests, and then now they're like friends who supports us no matter what we do, no matter where we are in the list or off the list or wherever. And that's kind of like amazing. We do 6 styles of drinks. Obviously, there's more, but like stick to 6 styles. We have the highball, and we have a daisy style or a modified sour, and we have a traditional sour style, a martini or Manhattan style, an old fashioned style, and a tiki or tropical style. So the spirit changes every week as well. Like for example, this week's highball is Scotch based or whiskey or bourbon. So people get the same style of drinks, but with different flavors and different base spirits and different influences, different perspective of drinks as well. Yeah. Today it's I call it a Bakwa Collins. Like Bakwa is actually kind of like a staple delicacy that we have over here. So I tried to like incorporate that into a highball style where it's a bit savory, but it's also slightly creamy and citrusy as well. It's also based on my love of basically mixing savory flavors and also like fruity notes. So anything that usually doesn't go together, I like to pick up a challenge and try to make it complement each other and make it delicious. So just to let you guys know, I don't know whether you guys can see from that. This is actually bakwa, the one that I mentioned, sweet and savory. It's actually good to have at any day actually, but also because it has a high fat content, so we use this technique which is called fat washing. So fat washing the oils and fat from the bakwa with the spirit, to the chosen spirit. So I'm gonna be using Evan Williams bourbon. So this is kind of like gives it like a very round flavored, which is also like you get very earthy and you get very like sweet savory notes. So I've already taken the liberty of like fat washing. So this is my Bakwa bourbon. Let me get you the glass. Okay. All right, so we're gonna do like 45 mLs of Bakwa bourbon. This is already fat washed. Okay. And we're gonna do a bit of maple syrup as well. So just to give it a bit more sweetener in there as well, and also kind of like vanilla notes in there, just to complement the bakwa as well. So we could turn around that. Right, over here we have this thing where we got fake lime. It's a very Sago House thing. Terminology wise, it actually stands for a blend of acids where we use citric and a bit of malic and phosphoric just to create a clarified acid, or I would call it a fake lime. So we're gonna do like 15 mLs of that, and just to top it off, a bit of Fino Sherry just to get a bit more depth and dryness as well. I always love a good sherry in any drink that I have. So yeah, most of the drinks I usually have sherries or vermouths in there as well. Okay. Right. All right, we're gonna ice it up. So this one I'm gonna be using a spear ice. Just gonna do a light stir on it. Let's just put it over here. Fantastic. Okay. Chill it a bit. And last but not least, we're gonna top up the soda as well. So as you guys know, like usually a usual Collins, I mean, consists of like lemon, simple, and the chosen base spirit as well. So, and of course you have your lengthener, which is the soda as well. We stopped up a bit. There you go. So usually when we mix our highballs, we don't usually mix it a lot because you don't really want the bubbles to dissipate too much, because once you reach over here, it's not gonna be as bubbly anymore. So, and then last but not least, I call it a lemon foam, but it's actually a mix of tamarind and as well as plums as well. Tamarind is actually one of my favorite flavors to use. Actually, it has a very tart but a very unique flavor that almost tastes like plum, but it's actually blended with lemon as well and a bit of cream. Right, just so yeah, as I mentioned, just a bit of lemon foam, which give that acidity and also a bit of tanginess in there and tart as well. So one thing I like about this drink is that it can be clarified, it can be drank as a kind of like a highball drink as well, but the cream concept gives it a bit more mouthfeel, which is also a bit creamy, but also you get very sparkly vibes, you get flavors in there, you get savory. While also at the top you get a bit of tangy notes as well, that complements with the savory flavors in there as well. So yeah, there you go, Bakwa Collins. Oh, I mean, you could obviously do something that has any fat content. The first few fat wash drinks was actually done with bacon. So people who actually really enjoy bacon flavor notes, they would actually, when you make your breakfast in the morning and you cook bacon and you have a lot of fats, you can actually use that to actually fat wash and make like a savory whiskey, or as we call like a bacon fat wash, bourbon or rye or even scotch. So yeah, you could use that. I can't really disclose it, but I'm going to tell you what's inside. So it's basically citric acid, which usually comes from lemon, and we have malic acid, usually comes from apples. So yeah, basically it's just a ratio of that, and then a bit of salt for salinity, and yeah, just water in there. So it gives you that very similar flavor to a lime, but without the tannins. This foam, it's like I mentioned, it's actually a blend of lemon, tamarind, and plum as well. I use a one-to-one mix of full cream as well as milk as well. So it doesn't come off as too thick or or too watery in that sense. So it still maintains the shape on top, even though you still get a bit of coagulation over here, but it really helps the flavor come out as well. When the pandemic hit, it was a few days after our soft launch, so we had to just change our gears into what we call the takeaway business, because people can't visit bars and all. So my bosses are very quick thinking about this and in any situation as well. So they immediately just went to the canning business. They got themselves a canning machine, and I think it's been very well received by a lot of guests and friends as well. Because a lot of bars were doing it, but not many bars were doing canned cocktails, which of course, for us, it kind of it gives us more variety of drinks to have instead of just having your regular Negronis or old fashions. Carbonated cocktails you basically can do anything. From basic cocktails or to highballs or whatever. It also gives people something to look forward to because as you probably know, we change our menu every single week. So and it goes on. Even though when we were in lockdown and everything like that, we still did it, and we still did our weekly thing. We still change our drinks every week or so. Every week we do R&Ds, and we sit down, and even Jay as well helps us a lot on the R&D and ideology part. So of course, all these people, they come from different experience and walks of life, coming from different countries also. So they have kind of like a different approach to making a drink. Like you could give us like an apple, and six of us could make like six different drinks with the same style using that. Yeah.